Actually, we're not going as a team. Joe Gattel will be going to the NCAA championships as an individual. The men ran a fantastic race and controlled all the variables that they were able to control in the whole selection process. They did everything that was asked of them, and they ran an incredibly strong race to tie Arizona State for 5th in our region. But unfortunately, the tie hurt us more than it hurt Arizona State, just with the way the selection system goes and the way the NCAA committee breaks the tie. And then a couple of other factors that were dependent on how other teams from other regions placed in their region, who we had gone up against at the pre-national invitational in mid-October, and some of their regional places didn't quite go our way either. So, but I couldn't have asked anything more of the men's team. This is a team that, from the outset, lost our #1 returning runner, and they decided all year that wasn't going to stop them in their quest to dominate the Big West Conference and to do all they could to get back to the NCAA championships. And they came within a half a second, over 10 kilometers of muddy, dirty, grassy running up there in Springfield, Oregon, of making it back to the NCAA championship. So my hat's off to them. It's been a team that I'm most proud of because they banded together. They knew they had to all step up, and they did a wonderful job of it. And Joe Gattel, a senior from Huntington Beach, will be representing Cal Poly at the NCAA championships next Monday. I'm also very proud of our women's team to finish 12th, and unfortunately our star, Kaylee Tyerman, the freshman, fell ill the week of the race and didn't have the strength to put forth an effort, which hindered the team, but we still finished 12th. And with Kaylee in there, we would have been about, I figure, 8th place or so in the region, which is the highest the Cal Poly team has ever finished at the regional meet. So the future looks incredibly bright for the women's team, and I can't say enough about how proud I am of both those teams and the way they competed at the end of the season. They did their best racing at the end of the season.
Hey, Coach. Sorry to hear the news about the men. Sadly, it's kind of a recurring theme around here at the university, teams being passed up for the NCAA. Your reaction, shocked, surprised, angry? What are the emotions when you receive word, I guess, that the men weren't going after another conference championship, a 5th place finish up at the Western Regionals, and it's seeming a very impressive resume?
Well, I just feel bad for the student athletes because it's their experience, and they worked so hard to try to achieve, the ultimate goal, the excellence of getting to the NCAA championships. And no matter what sport, obviously, as you alluded to, it's not easy to do. But they take with them the fact that they gave 100% and did all they could. They're holding their heads high. They have no reason not to be holding their heads high. And, it's just sports, and it's the way the selection process works. People debate the selection process, just like in any other sport. But at the end of the day, you live with what's been processed, and you move on. And they'll be super motivated for a great track and field season. I guarantee you that, too. And we'll have Joe Gattel representing us.
Yeah, the selection process, who knows how that goes into, how they figure that out in each individual sport. But, they're not supposed to take into past years' account, and I'm talking about just generically across the board. But that takes, it takes into some sort of effect, name schools from the bigger conferences. But for you guys, obviously a smaller school in the Big West, but you've had past success back there nationally. Just, a couple of years, was it 2 years ago where you came in 12th, I believe? Or
well, we were 11th.
11th. So you guys have a history, a tradition. It just seems kind of surprising. So
well, and
what
actually,
do you think left you out? What do you think kept you out?
There's a criteria. There is a formula. There's a formula that involves different variables, and I could confuse everybody by going into it right now, so I won't. But certainly, it is a formula that's in place, and I know it probably better than a lot of coaches in the country because that formula has even been adjusted by how Cal Poly performed in the early part of this decade in the years where we got 3rd in the region and we blocked other teams behind us going, so our region would only take 2 teams. And so they actually implemented the blocker rule where a team placing behind a team that has more wins against schools from out of the region can push that team in. And we were trying to bank on some of that on Saturday, and tying Arizona State, they don't take you in if you have a tie. So, you know, that's if that helps, you know, let you know there is a criteria. It's not people making arbitrary decisions based on University X versus University Y and who deserves to go. There is a formula, and I know it, and we live by it. And you know, we knew we had to run great at regionals. We did. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out to get us to NCAA's, but a great effort nonetheless.
Hey, Mark, there's no such thing as an automatic berth?
Top 2 teams are automatic berths.
I mean, from the conference. You're the Big West Conference champs.
Right. Well, the region meet is the selection meet for the NCAA championship, the Western region. There's 9 regions, and the top 2 teams in each region get selected automatically. So there's 18 teams. Then the NCAA selects the additional 13 at-large teams for a total of 31 teams, plus 38 individuals. And like I said, Joe Gattell is one of those individuals that met the criteria to be selected as an individual.
Is it 11 years straight?
11 years, yeah.
Think how far is going to represent the championship?
Right, yeah. We've had team or individual representation at the cross-country championship. This will be the 11th straight year, and so hats off to the program for getting that accomplished again.